Today, I want to share with you a thought that came to me 2 weeks ago while I was in a ladies' meeting. I usually have a little invitation where ladies can get up and say something God spoke to their heart about. Well, one of the speakers had mentioned being a computer mom, and there were several, at least 3 ladies out of about 15 that mentioned that they have the weakness of being on their phone and their computer a lot when they're around their children. And all of a sudden it hit me, that is a very real problem today, is being a techno mom, so much so that you are neglecting your children. At least that's what the ladies were saying. So I want to give you this thought from Proverbs 29:15. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. And I want all of us out there to realize that when you leave your child to himself and he feels that he is not loved and doesn't get the proper attention, it affects them terribly. I remember when I was a child, one time I was feeling like my mom didn't care about me. We had old elderly folks living with us, and she seemed to be so busy with them and so much more so than giving me attention and doing for me. And every time I ask her to do something, I have to do this for the old folks. And if I want to do something, you got to stay home and do this. And I just was feeling like everybody else was more important than myself. And so I packed my bags, and I really didn't pack it. I just put a couple things in a suitcase, and I started walking out the door, and she said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm running away from home." And she said, "Where are you going to go?" And I said, "I don't know." And so I just walked out the door, and she let me. And I walked about a block and a half, and I sat outside in an alleyway and sat there and said, "I wonder if she's missing me." And as a childish person, I said, "I wonder if she's missing me." And finally, after maybe 30 minutes, it seemed like hours to this young child, I walked back home. When I walked in, my mom said, "I thought you'd be back," and that didn't help at all, I wish she'd have said, "Oh, I missed you so much," but she didn't, and that's okay. But I'm just telling you, when children feel neglected, it affects them. And ladies, those of you that are very phone conscious, like if a text come in, you got to answer it, or if that you got to be checking your emails all the time, or you're checking your status on Facebook, or can I say this to you? Your kids are not going to grow up and say, "I remember always getting to see the bottom of my mom's head when she was looking down at her phone." They're not going to say that. They're not going to grow up and say, "My mom was the champion on Angry Birds or that Gems and Jewels, whatever those games are. She got to such and such level." Do you understand? You're wasting precious minutes with the people that you have in your family, in your home for about 18 years. You have all that influence that's being wasted. Can I give you one piece of advice? I do play a game on my phone, but I have a time limit on it. And I think perhaps all of us need to be very aware of time limits. And if you're not a person that watches the clock, then perhaps you should use your phone to set an alarm that'll go off in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you deem is right. But don't be caught up in technology so much that you're sitting there on the computer, on your phone, on your iPad all the time when you have young children in the house. They need their mother. Can I just encourage you to be aware of this, of being a techno mom? And let's don't be a techno mom. Let's just be a real mom. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice.